cannot wait. Before we head to break, here's another informative session with our good friend of the show, Mark Wynn, from Winning Warrior Krav Maga.
This segment is sponsored by Winning Warrior Krav Maga.
It can happen to any of us, a home invasion. Today I'm here with Mark Wynn of Winning Warrior Krav Maga out in Midlothian to teach us a few tricks just in case it should happen to us. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
Well, thank you.
So let's talk about it real fast. When we're talking about a home invasion, there's certain things you can do to prepare, there's certain things you can't do to prepare, right? So you're responding to what's going on. So one of the things, this is an easy trick that anybody can do, is when you have your plate that goes, your stop plate on your door, right, that your lock actually goes into, it's easy to kick that plate in if the screws are short.
Oh, I've heard about this, that you should be swapping those out with something much longer.
Yes, so you want to use a wooden screw that's going to penetrate deeper, that's 3 to 4 inches long. That way, it's twofold. One, it's a deterrent, because if the person is trying to kick the door in, knock the door in, that 1-inch screw, after a couple, or maybe even the first blow, they're in the house.
So you're giving yourself a little bit more time if someone should decide.
Yes, and that's the second aspect. If it's taking them a while to get in, if they're not there, hopefully it's making enough noise for them to say, this is not working, so maybe I need to go to the next neighborhood, not the next house, the next neighborhood, right? But if you're in there, that's giving you more time to get in position, because you're obviously not trying to rush to that door, but being on 911. Yes, it's the front door they're trying to come in. Yes, they're having a hard time getting in because the screws that are in the door. And so you can position yourself to give you the best chance to do whatever you might do. Now, we're not telling you to, be a superhero and run to that person and try to take them out. That's not what we're saying. You know your house better than the assailant does. So if you can find some place that you can hide and keep 911 on the phone, that will give them more time to get there. If you are able to, if you carry a firearm, you're able to position yourself in a position, not going out to where they are, know where you are, let the police know where you are, and you can position yourself in your room in a fashion that it's going to be hard for them to get to you, but at the same time, you'll be able to respond if necessary.
So you're saying get out if you can get out, but most of all, make sure you make that call and find a place where you can be safe enough to kind of hunker down if you needed to.
First and foremost. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You never know what you're dealing with. So just like police officers call for backup, we want that backup. We want somebody coming, even them coming with sirens on, even them coming as quickly as they can. That would be a further deterrent for this person to stay there, because, criminals are just like everybody else. Everybody's lazy. They want low-hanging fruit.
Right.
If I don't have to work for it and I can just pull it off the tree, that's what I'm going to do. And that's what someone that's breaking in your house wants. They don't want an altercation unless there is rage and there's a relationship. They don't want an altercation. They want to get what they want to get and get out. The only reason in most cases they're going to come after you is because you saw them and they don't want to be found.
Well, it's interesting because what you're saying is you need to protect your home and guard your home, keep your doors locked, of course, make sure that your locks are secure, and then have a plan, it sounds like. Have a phone even nearby where you would normally hang out in the house, and make sure if you do have any sort of defense mechanisms that you keep those close by, but also in a safe place.
And that goes to using things like a Ring camera or something that's a deterrent. I'm not telling you to go make a fortress of your home, but if you do something like Ring or something else, you might even use window tampers, so that if somebody tries to break the window, it's going to set off an alarm. Things of that nature will help. Last that I'd really like you to note is people follow patterns to follow what you're going to do. So if your pattern is you always come home at a certain time, you always come home a certain way, you always do that, then people are watching your patterns as they watch your neighborhood, which also means you have to be watchful. You just can't go out and just, I'm about business, I'm going to A to B. Pay attention to what's going on in your neighborhood. Pay attention to what cars are parked. Pay attention to what people are walking around, because that's also a means for you to be on top of things.
Such good tips and reminders that we all need, especially as we start to get comfortable and kind of hunker down into whatever our home life looks like. Thank you always for the wonderful, wonderful tips.
Absolutely.
If you'd like to learn more about Winning Warrior Krav Maga and not only the self-defense tips, but also the classes you can take here, visit our website at virginiathismorning.com.
Mr. Bevins, those are definitely skills that you hope to not have to put into use, but ones that you should know.
Yeah, definitely.
Winning Warrior Krav Maga, you'll find the studio at 190 Midlothian Turnpike in Richmond. You can call the team 804-620-7761. Visit online kravrva.com and find them on Facebook at Winning Warrior Krav Maga and on Instagram at Winning Warrior Krav.
And there's a lot more Virginia This Morning coming up right after a quick break.